Now we're going to move to September 4th, the day of the shooting. Were you again still in Ben Hill?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you talk to the defendant that morning of September 4th?
Yes.
And what happened when you talked to him?
He basically told me that Colt had sent him some strange text messages. I told him I had not gotten any text messages from Colt, and so he sent me what Colt had sent him. At the time, I was in the car with my mom. I don't even remember what we were doing, but I shared them with her, and from there we just kind of discussed what the text messages were, and I wanted, to find out what was going on quickly, because reading the text messages, just like he could tell, I could tell there was a tone to it, and they were like kind of really short, and they weren't normal Colt texts, so you could tell something was not right. So I tried texting Colt, I think first, couldn't get a response. I never actually got a text from Colt himself until after I had started trying to call the school and talk to the school.
And when you called the school, were you able to talk to somebody?
Yes.
And who did you talk to?
I talked to Miss Lisa, his guidance counselor that I called on Thursday the week before.
And at this time, I'm going to display that phone call from State Exhibit 159, Marcy Gray's cell phone extraction, and it's from the timeline portion of that exhibit. So you call the school at 9:50 a.m. and speak to Miss Butler for 8 minutes and 57 seconds.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what y'all talked about.
Well, she started out by apologizing. She said that in the 30 minutes that she was with the other parents, that prior Thursday she had misplaced my phone number. So then I went ahead and just kind of covered some of what had been going on with Colt, told her about the anxiety, told her about some of the issues between him and his dad. I told her a number of different things. I actually had a list written in a notebook that I had at the time, and then she went on to tell me that basically it was ironic that I had called her because his first period teacher had sent her an email saying that Colt had been asking questions about active shooter drills. This, like I said, was in the period prior to where he was at that time. When she told me that, I said, okay, well, we need to cut this phone call off right now, and y'all need to go locate my son and find out what's going on.
Did you tell her that he had had access to guns?
Yes, I don't remember how I worded it, but I did tell her about the guns in the house, and that him and his dad, enjoyed shooting guns at the gun range, and it was like a hobby. And so she said, okay, well, I'll see if I can't find somebody to track him down. And I didn't feel like I couldn't hear urgency in her voice. And I said, I need you to take this seriously. I need you to put down what you're doing, and you need to go find him right now, please. And so we got off the phone.
And after you got off the phone, you said that Colt did text you.
Yes, he did text me. He basically texted me almost exactly what he had originally texted his dad earlier.
And I'm going to go ahead and display that text from 10:02 on September 4th, where he says, "I'm sorry." Okay. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So at this point, are you concerned?
Very, very concerned.
And I'm going to pull up some more text that you sent to your mother and to the defendant from 10:17 on September 4th. Up there on the right, you say, you should probably go ahead and make arrangements to leave work. And then at 10:18, you text the defendant, they're going to need you at the school. So at this point, y'all, the school shooting has not started. Tell me why you're telling him he needs to go ahead and go to school.
I think primarily it was just because I knew something was going on with Colt. What that something was, I had no idea. Whether he was just having another panic attack episode, because in the month or so leading up to this, there have been several times where he was having really bad anxiety at school, and so he would leave class and just go sit in the guidance counselor's office. I didn't know if he was going to hurt himself, hurt someone else. I really had no idea what was going on, but I knew something was not right. And I knew at the very least the defendant was going to need to go to the school to find out what was going on with Colt.
Okay. And so, and you had some concern that he may have brought the gun to school, right?
Honestly, that crossed my mind after I knew that they were having like active shooter stuff going on. I won't say that crossed my mind initially when I was reading the text and stuff. Okay. My mind didn't immediately go to the gun.
But eventually it did.
Sure.
And then at 11:32 that morning, you Google Appalachia High School active shooter. And that's when it pops up that a Georgia school is on lockdown.
Yes.
It reports of an active shooter. Is that right?
Yes, I had already tried to call the school multiple times and no one was answering. So then I tried calling my daughter's school, which was right there by the high school, and nobody was answering there. So that's when I Googled
And when you Googled it and found that there was an active shooter, you sent the defendant a text message at 11:34, and it says it's already on the news. At that point, did y'all know what had happened?
Yeah, I don't think you have to have a whole lot of sense to know what had happened at that point.
And at 11:34, you talked to the defendant. And then you talked to him again at 12:22. What did y'all talk about?
Honestly, I probably couldn't tell you exactly what was said. Actually, I do know one thing that came up. I called him at one point to find out if he was at the school, if he had made it to the school or not. And he said, well, I didn't go to the school. I'm going to the house, or I'm at the house. And I said, why are you at the house? And he said, well, I said, you need to be at the school, you know. We have 2 other children. And he said he wanted to see if Colt's gun was at the house.
During that phone conversation, did he express any concern for Colt's well-being?
No.
Did you drive up to Bear County that day?
Yes, my mom drove, but I rode with her. We left pretty shortly after it was started being reported on.
And is it fair to say before Colt's name was released, you knew that Colt was the shooter? Is that fair to say?
Pretty much, yeah.